want to thank everybody for joining me today for Tech Talk. Woohoo! All right, so today we're going to talk about AI, but I always talk about AI on a high level, right? And I don't actually go into the programs and show you how they work. So I'm going to actually go in and show you how certain things work and what they actually like, how many AI apps that are out there right now that you can, some of them are better than others, but I'll tell you something, I'm absolutely blown away by the way AI is. And I'd like to hear some predictions later on of where you think we're going to be in a year, because really, again, I mean, it's been a little bit over a year. I think it was last February, Catherine. I went back and looked at our videos. It was last February that we had our first discussion on Tech Talk about AI, and so this newfangled thing, that you're able to go and check out ChatGPT and whatever. And I'm telling you, like a whirlwind, AI just blew up, and now it's really great. And now I don't think anybody can do without it.
14 months, that's it.
Yeah, so ChatGPT I think has been around for a while longer than that, but as far as being like out in public, kind of used a lot and in the media, it's really only been a year and a half, a year and a half tops, right? Maybe 2 years, right? So this is an amazing thing. Imagine if you created an airplane and then the airplane progressed in a short period of time as much as AI has progressed. We'd all have our own flying cars.
It's witchcraft.
Yeah. So I wanted to also give us an opportunity to, let me just see if I have this still open, and I don't. So I'm going to open this up. Sorry, folks. Yes. So I just want to talk about any members that you have done interactions with that you really want to highlight. You want to highlight another member, somebody else, not you, that you feel that we should be paying attention to, that you'd like to throw some love their way. Anybody comes to mind, Catherine?
Yes, I actually had an interaction with Kevin yesterday, Kevin Breitner from
Okay.
Management. Yeah, he's showing a property of ours to be rented, and he decided that he would come out early, brought pizza and pop, so that he could visit with my husband because he's just come from the hospital, right? And yeah, and then in between, he had 2 viewings and took the time to, again, just come and visit with us. But it was really nice that he had the 2 viewings as well. So it was kind of that combination of like, this is really nice. He actually took, because he lives in Mississauga and we're in Hamilton. He took that evening away from his family and made time for us, not just in and out with the showings. So it was like, wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was really impressed enough that I got up this morning and made sure I texted him and said, thanks again. That was very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Kevin Breitner is quite an amazing guy.
Yeah.
I've called him also to just brainstorm certain things, and he, if he's busy, he tells me, listen, I can't right now, but I'll call you back. And he calls me back, and then we have our conversation, and he's very to the point, right? And he gets things, so I really appreciate him for that as well. Anybody else?
I just love Catherine's things. I know she says she doesn't really generate them, but I love what she's doing there with just putting some knowledge out there that, and some of that stuff, you might not think it's a big deal, Catherine, but some of what you put out might have saved somebody's life, right? Just inadvertently, because somebody reads something and goes, you know what, maybe I should, when I walk by one of those defibrillator machine one day, just take a look at it and see what it is. So if I ever have to do something in a bind,
Yeah.
know what I'm doing, right? So yeah, I think those are great, and I love, it's sort of like I guess a community piece, something she can do to just spread her knowledge and share with others, right?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Catherine. That's great. If you ever think that people don't read it, I mean,
I know.
It's being read, right?
It's really good to know. Yeah, impressions, or did they just click on it and carry on because they know me? Or
No, I actually read them.
I love it.
Yeah, it's nice to know.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. That's great. Anybody else?
I mean, just generally, like, shout out to Ivan and Teresa.
Oh,
Especially with everything, like I said, that was going on, like having you guys being supportive, like, don't worry, come back when you come back. We'll be here for you. And just even just the small check-ins while everything was going on really meant a lot. And it's nice to know that even though this is a business networking group, having that personal connection really does help and make a difference too, because I feel confident that when I come back, I'm not going to be penalized for anything or anything like
of
that.
course not. Yeah, yeah,
So
no.
that was awesome. Thank you guys.
Hey,
I want to throw one more out there. I forget her name now, our bookkeeping lady.
oh,
Oh,
Aaron.
Aaron.
Right. The name just wouldn't come. She came and tapped on my window yesterday. Williams is closed. We're going over here to sit in. Oh, okay. Thanks. Good to know.
She was out there looking for you. Yeah, she was so
Oh no, she
odd.
was parked beside me, I guess, and I was just sort of sitting in the truck because I was there a little bit early.
Yeah.
And I'm on my phone. I hear this tap on the window, and I'm like, "Oh, hi. How are you? I guess it's time to go in." She goes, No, it's like it's closed."
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
she actually sent me a text first thing, like quarter after, because she got there early, and I thought, wow, thank you so much. Of course, I was in Brampton, couldn't do much about it, but it was solved, and she was really there. And Teresa also kind of, I think Teresa reached out to you, Catherine, and made sure everything was good, right? All
Yeah.
right, so listen, today we're gonna chat a little bit about AI. So, what is your go-to AI tool besides ChatGPT? Anybody?
I've tried to work with Copilot, but I don't find it as responsive as Chat GPT. Like,
Okay.
I find Chat GPT is like a Google of AI, right? Just say what I want to say, and then it's very easy to tweak. Where Copilot, I need more knowledge, like keyword ideas.
Right.
I'm not doing as great on Copilot as I would Chat GPT.
Yes. Yeah. How about you, John? Anything?
Like I'm still not that big of a user on AI stuff, but for ChatGPT, I'm only doing things what clients are asking me to do. It's more like I'm using it on behalf of clients, but I don't use it myself too much.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good to know. Has anybody dabbled in any other AI, like even once or twice? No.
But I can mention that I've seen yesterday I was watching a friend or colleague do some really amazing things with music stuff. Like he just picked some AI music platform and he gamified it. He said, do this with like a Metallica type of thing with this
Mhm.
kind of Russian folk style. And the AI made something that was very like professional grade. So I see people do some interesting things with it.
You know what, John? I gotta tell you what's funny is yesterday driving to Brampton, in my head, I was keywording AI for music. Just the prompts, because you got to come up with a prompt. And so just thinking about how to frame the prompt to get a certain style, right? And while you're driving, all of a sudden these prompts are coming into your head. It's the changing of the way that we think things now. We're now thinking prompts, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
using
Yeah.
stock because my photos are very specific.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having problems with keywords. So I went to them and because you get 100, you know how you usually only get 10 photos a month for your price. You get 100 revisions to get whatever you're after because of the fine tuning. And I said to them, like, anything I'm getting is not. So they're helping me with keywords because they won't
Oh,
let me.
fantastic.
Yeah, because
That's what
it was weird.
if I can find somebody that actually really, really knows keywords, I'll think I'm going to try and pull them on to give us a teaching, because keywording is really important. And I've used Midjourney, and I kind of feel embarrassed because other people are looking at my stuff, because every time I have another iteration, it comes out and everybody can see it. But just looking at what they're getting versus what I'm getting, I know that I need to learn a lot. So I'm like actually copying and pasting the keywords that I think are what's making theirs look a certain way, and I'm playing with it there. But I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. Okay, so this is a friend of mine, and I just want you to just think about this. Okay, so you know how you can go in and you could talk to Synthesia and you could talk to other things, and I went and I found a PM, a project management assistant, That's an AI. And this is with Talkie. So you go to talkie.ai.com or -ai.com, and you can go in and find a number of different characters and you can talk to them and stuff. But I really like this PM assistant. So I said, listen, if you were to start a small business today, what business would you start? And it gave me this answer. But listen to the way that this AI gives the answer. And then I want to talk about what you notice about the way that this AI is talking.
As an AI, I don't have personal opinions or desires. However, based on current market trends and demands, starting a business in the digital domain can be promising. Online health and wellness platform, for instance, could offer services like fitness coaching, mindfulness training, and nutrition guidance. With the pandemic, people are seeking solutions to stay healthy, both physically and mentally, but prefer to do so from the safety and comfort of their homes. This business idea could be scalable and has potential for high demand and profitability. It's crucial to do market research to identify competition and audience needs and to tailor your offerings accordingly.
Okay. Right. Go ahead, Michael.
So, two things.
Go ahead.
First of all, this guy went to Trudeau's School of Talking. Uh.
Okay. Go ahead.
And secondly, I'm doing this because I have to. There's no enthusiasm. He's just like, well, yeah, like you can get this business. Yeah, like no confidence there. Not somebody that if I was in a room listening to this person talk, I would
Okay.
just basically shut down.
Okay. So anybody else? Anybody else?
I thought the ums and the pause made him sound more realistic.
Real.
Yeah,
That's the way I talk.
yeah. Yeah, the monotone, I got that. I hear you, but then again, that could be a tech because they're techie. Not to say I just find like Peter, he's very monotone,
Right.
right? But he gets this thing, so I just put it to that. But I did notice he was monotone, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, John.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was focusing on the content, and now I realized the domain is about audio. So I was just gonna say they can probably just switch out the voice pretty easily, kind of like how your GPS, you can switch accents and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was more focused on the content, and I haven't seen yet a difference between the quality of the content from, let's say, ChatGPT. It's kind of just giving me a high level approach
Right.
for you to start drilling down on it afterwards.
I asked a question about writing. So I just wanted to brainstorm an idea about writing a book, right? So and it gave me some feedback on writing the book, and it just said, hey, so then I asked like, which is better, to self-publish on one of those platforms that you mentioned, or traditional publishing? And then it gave me some response, and I thought it was pretty good. So here you have it. Now, do you see yourself, Catherine, or John, or anybody? Do you see yourself actually brainstorming with an AI?
Were you having a discussion or were you typing?
I'm typing. I don't
Because you
know why
can't
that is.
Word will let you do it. See that it doesn't feel like a discussion when I'm typing that long, because typically if I'm gonna text you that much, I'm just gonna call you, right?
Right. But my texts are really short, right? His response is a lot longer.
Oh, that's true too. Okay.
Right. So I'm asking a question, and if he gives me an answer back, then my response is going to be short. Okay, so then drill down on this. Give me some examples, and then it'll give me the examples. Right.
Okay. Right.
Right. How about you, Michael? I saw you shaking your head, Michael, saying, like, no way, not happening, never.
I don't use, unless it's like in the background of my CRM somewhere, something like that. I don't talk to machines. I just don't do it.
Right. Okay.
It's just not something that that I have no appeal to it. If I want to know something, yeah, I'll Google something, you know, how do you do this or how do you do that? But I'm not a content writer anyways. Like I know, Ivan, you need to get content for, you know, website, all kinds of different things.
Right.
So little bit, you know, different role there. Um, and for that reason, like, you know, you when you started this today, you said, you know, 14 months ago, AI came out and like it's just been such a whirlwind. And for someone like me who doesn't interact with it every day, um, I just don't see, like, there was a lot of hype. There was like, are we all going to even still have a job tomorrow? People are still going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine's still doing what she's doing. Alexandra's still doing what she's doing when she can, when she's
Right.
allowed to get enough sleep and stuff,
Right.
you know. And I mean, are these things, can they be good? Absolutely. I mean, I'm not opposed to them. Do they have a role to play? Right. And we had this discussion in a previous meeting where, you know, we've had AI for 20 years, whether it be, you know, we went from a
Absolutely.
typewriter to now being able to, you know, you got your Word or whatever, you can write a letter, you don't need someone to retype it for you. So we've had these incremental ups in technology. And yeah, I think they're going to just sort of get observed in. There's going to be times where we have a bigger jump for whatever reason, you know, a whole bunch of things, just, you know, the stars aligned and we got this big jump. But then I think there's a slowdown. People have to adopt, right? And people will adopt maybe parts of it if they think it's relevant to them. There'll be others who say, you know, it's just not relevant to me, so I'm not going to do that. So the world will keep spinning.
Okay.
I don't think AI is going to, you know, be like some kind of a death knell to employment for people. In fact, it might create some employment, right? As every time we have a new technology, we have like spin-offs. You know, if somebody said 30 years ago, when I grew up, I want to be a robot technician, they would have looked at you and went, what do you want to do? You want to starve? Like there's no robots out there barely, right? And now in an industrial setting, there's lots of robots, right?
Huge.
So
Yeah.
there, the economy evolves, people evolve, technology comes out, there's adopters, there's people who are going to want to service it. So we just keep moving forward.
Oh yeah, I agree with everything that everyone has said so far. But one thing I'll add is I realize that I do use ChatGPT to do an initial summary of a topic I know nothing about,
Right.
so that I can't quite get nicely through Google. Like I think a few months ago I did something like, can you tell me about all the other cultural ethnic minorities in China? Because all we hear is about the main Communist Party. But if you
Mhm.
try to look, so then it gave me a summary, and then I can go to Google and do more fine-tuned research. Because when I try to Google for something like that, not too many people talk about those things for political reasons and all that stuff. So sometimes I might use it as a gateway to do that kind of brainstorming. And I know the bots aren't always like 50% of the time it gives me incorrect information. So but it gives me a sense of direction, and I'll validate the ideas afterwards through more extensive research.
And I'm glad that you said that. So that brings me to the next point. So I went ahead to ChatGPT and I said, let me just paste in here my comment. I said, hey, can you write a short article about Tech Talk morning discussion on this great city network? We talk about technology and its effects on small business. And so I hit enter, and of course ChatGPT then goes ahead and writes it out for me, which is nice, right? Gives me a you know, a reasonable, believable response, right? And you can go ahead and take a look at that. So I thought, wow, okay, so what is the who are the competitions? Does anybody know ChatGPT competition?
Copilot.
Copilot? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend that's using Poe.com, Poe, and that uses so many other bots. It's like aggregates all these other bots. And my friend is actually trying to build another aggregator of chat bots. So that for particular topics, some might be better. Oh, sorry.
I've never considered that, John, that you would aggregate responses from other chatbots.
It wasn't the aggregating response from chatbots, but you just aggregating the bots themselves. And it's like a dashboard. I want this bot, Llama, or if I want ChatGPT, but my friend is trying to do that next step, aggregate the responses so that it's more like a Google, but for bots.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Very okay. Very, very cool. Okay, so you get the general idea here from this response. That's from ChatGPT. I wanted to take you into Gemini and and do the same thing. So let me just see if I actually control V. Let's go ahead. This is the response from Gemini, and it's some of the same, but I like the structure in Gemini better. Right. So just the way that it thinks, the way that it responds, it gives me something really nice, really concise, doesn't go on, not a lot of words. I find that there's a pattern to ChatGPT that is obvious AI, right? Once you do this over and over again, you start to see the pattern and you go, okay, I get what this is, right? It uses certain words that you want to kind of, avoid. You have to go in there and tweak. Whereas I find that Gemini is definitely a better platform when it comes to what's actually written. And this morning I asked it a question, and it gave me a response, and then it said, "Hey, we're fact checking this." In the article, what it wrote out, it fact checked it, and then it gave me the footnotes of where to go to find the information that it found on the web. That is something that ChatGPT does not do. And I found that very fascinating, right? I felt a lot more confident in Gemini when I'm having it put together something for me. What are your thoughts? How do you like the interface, by the way, of Gemini?
Is this Google?
This is, yeah, it's Google. I think it's Google's Gemini. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like what Gemini has done here where it fact checks, because one of my problems with ChatGPT was that it doesn't do any fact checking. Like this was 14, like a year, 2 years ago. I remember I was first, one of the questions I asked was who would win? It is for boxing, if any of you guys are sports fans, but I asked something like who would win in a rematch between Roberto Duran and Thomas Hearns? And the bot replied right away, Roberto Duran already won in the rematch. And I was like, no, like where'd you get this source of data? This isn't correct. And it wouldn't, I tried drilling down, like, please tell
Wow.
me the source of your information, but it kept on making things up. It was fought on this date in 1989. And I'm like, wait, that never happened. How many people were in attendance? What were the ticket sales like? And it said, this information is not publicly available because it's an exhibition fight. And so it just kept making things up. And there's another bot that me and my colleague was testing where I pasted in a YouTube URL and I said, please summarize this lecture on psychology. And it made things up. And then my colleague said, well, how did you get all this information? Because the transcript is not publicly available. And then the bot said, I apologize for misleading you. I made some educated guess based on the title and the meta information. So, but I like what you've shown here with Gemini, where it cites, this is where we got our source data from, where some of
Right.
these other bots we've been using, it just makes things up and it confidently exposes it as truth. And you need a skeptical person to really drill down and qualify that information.
Yeah, especially John, now that you're starting to see them talk about ChatGPTs is now built into cars to give you information. You don't want that information to be false, right? Especially, yeah, you want it to be accurate and trustworthy. You don't want you to think that your car is lying to you, right? So that's kind of that. Okay, so I wanted to go
But
to
you don't want to drive into a big fast flowing river
I
because you can
don't.
make
I
it to the other
really
side, right? You can, Ivan, you can do it.
Yeah, you can.
If you go fast enough, right?
Oh yeah, like a rock skipping across the water. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Okay, so I decided, you know what, I wanted to okay, so I wanted to have a song created for me. So I went here to Chat GPT, and I'm not sure what happened here, but let me just log in again, and hopefully it'll give me my information. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, wait. Sorry about this, guys. All right, well, you know what? I had it write me a song, but I can have it. Can you write me about Catherine? Catherine, I always pick on you. Excellent. Did I spell that right? Excellent. Teacher and friend. So then ChatGPT is going to think about it for a second. It's going to come up with an amazing song about Catherine Davies, right? All right. So now that you have your song about Catherine, then you go over to Suno. And by the way, I already done this morning. So I said the song was about road tripping through Ontario. This is the song that was actually written, and so this is the version I asked it to do. And just so that you know, let me go ahead and have it just create another version of this song for you. I'm going to play this one now, and I'll have it create a version for you. Woo!
Driving through the maple land with the wind in our hair, on the open road with ventures everywhere. From Toronto city lights to the Great Lake shore, Ontario's calling, let's explore, let's explore. We're on a road trip through Ontario's charm, from Thunder Bay to Ottawa. We'll travel on and on with each mile.
So this created this for me in about 35 seconds. Go ahead, Michael.
So this would be like a great jingle for the Ontario Ministry of Tourism. Put some pictures to it and just show Ontario and boost your tourism sector, because it
Absolutely.
talks about the Great Lakes, it talks about the Lakehead, talks about the maple trees, which is, the fall. Like that's actually impressive.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
$35.
I'm sure just surprised they didn't say anything about the Capitol buildings in Ottawa. That was the only thing that was missing.
Yeah, it goes on and on and on.
Oh, I did see it. Okay. Oh, okay. So you didn't play all of it then?
No. I just
okay.
Yeah, so it'll go on. And now just so that you know that if I really like this song and I say, okay, can you extend it? I can hit extend, and then I can plop in additional lyrics here, and it will take the same music and just continue
Just make it
into the
longer.
song, right? So
That is kind of cool.
This is pretty neat, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just say, hey, create me another one, but I don't want it to be upbeat. I want it to be R and
Hey, can you do a song? Here's the subject.
Okay.
Sitting in a traffic jam in Toronto on the 401.
Okay.
See what it comes up with.
That sounds like a country and western.
Sitting in traffic
on the 401 in Toronto.
How about asking it to create a national anthem for Canada?
Okay. Four. Wait, why does it give me?
You put a dash in there, yeah.
Okay. 401 highway. 401.
Yeah, you probably have to tell it it's a highway because it won't know our local acronyms.
Oh, let me just also say bumper.
Or how about a song about dictator Trudeau?
Okay, all right. Keep this all PG. Okay, so here we go. We're not going to make it instrumental. No, it's not instrumental. I'll have it create the song. Let's see what it comes up with. This is a first for me. Kind of winging it. Highway Blues.
Highway Blues.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Let's see what it sounds
You
like.
get two versions right away, Ivan?
It gives me two versions right away. Yeah. First one.
Stuck in this traffic, can't catch a break. On the 401, it's a big mistake.
Mercy.
Bumper to bumper, it's a slow parade. Feel the frustration as the minutes fade. The honking horn and the sitting on.
Yeah. So what do you think?
As the sunset.
Okay, that's the first one that I gave you. Second one.
Stuck in this traffic, can't catch a break.
And it goes on.
On
So,
the
you don't like that?
401.
Then you could just say, hey, create more. Just give me different ones, right?
Yeah, I like the pace of the first one. That was
Yeah,
a
me
little
too.
more catchy.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive that it does that.
That's pretty cool, right? So here you have Suno. Catherine, you've used this already, right? So
Well, you created songs for us.
that's right. Yeah. But have you used it yourself?
No. I've just used the song. you gave me, and I've been able to do so many different things with it, put pictures to it and change the
Totally.
pictures, and yeah.
Okay, so check this out. Check this out. If you have even something really cute, for $9, you go and you buy some credits, and then your son's birthday or your wife's birthday or your husband's birthday or whatever it is, and you have it create a special happy birthday song. And then what happens is once it's done, you can go ahead and click the button here and just hit download, and the MP4 is downloaded to your computer. So this is your music, right? And because it's paid for, you own the rights to the music. It's your music.
So what does this cost, Ivan? And if I was to like go into this Suno right now and I did a search for Highway 401 songs, would your song come up?
No. It's outputting songs for me. So
Okay.
if you went in here, you'd go, okay, I want you to create a song. You can either give it the description here, right? Up in the top up here, you put in the description, or you can say, no, let's go to custom mode, and I'm just gonna paste my own lyrics. So then I go to ChatGPT, I have it create the lyrics, and then copy it and paste it here, and then it'll sing those songs. So what I've done, so it's a little deceiving because it'll tell you that you got 1,000 credits, and every time that you use it, you lose 10 credits, right? So you think, oh, well, I'll just create a song. It's just going to cost me 10 credits. No, it actually costs you about 100 credits because you'll go in there and then you realize, oh, you know what? I like I like the lyrics, but I think I'm going to tweak the lyrics to say this instead, or I'm going to tweak it to say that instead, or whatever it is, or I'm going to extend it because I really want it to drag out to being about 3 minutes, where it'll just give you about 2 minutes. And so you really want to have it, and it'll be perfected in that 10 iterations, right?
And how many, like, what do they charge for this?
So I think I pay $9. Let me just see here. Yeah. So
Is that a monthly? Oh, okay.
yeah, so it's $8 a month US. Sorry, let's go to monthly billing. Yeah, so it's $10 a month, billed monthly. I cannot even tell you how valuable this is, because sometimes people that call me are kind of bummed out, and I'll go ahead and I'll create a pick-me-up song and I'll send it to them, and it makes their day, right? I do stuff for the church, I do stuff for I'm making music for everybody because I find that music is kind of the language of motivation and all the other things. So but I really like this platform, and I've used it a lot. It is worth every penny. And for $10, you get 2,500 credits, 500 songs, 500 iterations of a song, 500, right? You can't beat it. Yeah. So so I wanted you guys to check that out. All right. And now also, as you know, on our website, let me just go to our website real fast here, this great city. We have our which I have to change out, by the way. So our monthly update, so
Hello, everyone. I am Roslyn. Welcome to our April monthly update on this great city business network where networking, referrals, and good times all come together. Join us for First Wednesday Coffee Mixer on April.
Right? So obviously that's not, there's no Roslyn, right? You're not going to meet Roslyn at one of our events. So I really love 11 Labs. It is, I find it to be a very, has anybody used 11 Lab? Catherine, John, anybody?
Tried, but not extensively.
Okay, so I really like it, and you know what? I'm gonna grab that Tech Talk discussion text that I have, a copy, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. It's going to be an empty project, and then it's going to say, what's the project name? And I'm going to just call it Tech Talk. And then I get to pick the voice, right? So let me check out Rachel.
Change in all things is sweet.
Okay, how about Drew?
Love doesn't make the world go round. Love is what makes the ride worthwhile.
Okay, all right, I like Drew. Okay, we're going to pick on Drew. And then I'm going to have it standard, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and create. And then I'm going to plop in my text, and I'm going to have it convert it. And then that's it. So it will go ahead and convert this and have whoever that was, Drew, go ahead and read it out for me. and then I can listen to it. I can see how it sounds, and sometimes, you know, you'll learn how to make this say what you want it to say. Right? Because I find that if I type in www.thisgreatcity.com, it gets all messed up. So I have to actually type in W space W space W and then spell out dot DOT and then this great city and then DOT and then COM. But if it's CA, I've got to go C space A or else it'll go dot K, right? So, and you don't want it to be dot K. That doesn't sound good. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can actually listen to this. Here. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait. I gotta move this down a bit so I can actually press the button. There.
For more information and to register, visit This Great City Network's website or social media pages. Let's embrace technology together and propel our businesses forward.
Oh, that's okay. So that was that. Okay, I usually it reads the whole thing, but I'm not sure why it's not reading the whole thing. All right, there we go.
This Great City Network, Tech Talk morning discussion on how tech impacts small businesses. Calling all Hamiltonians with an entrepreneurial spirit.
All right.
This Great City Network is hosting a Tech Talk morning discussion specifically focused on This Great City Network, Tech Talk morning discussion on how tech impacts small businesses. Calling all Hamiltonians with an entrepreneurial spirit. This Great City Network is hosting a Tech Talk morning discussion specifically focused on the ever-evolving relationship between technology.
Okay, so he's not the best voice.
This Great City Network, Tech Talk morning discussion on how tech impacts small businesses. Calling all Hamiltonians with an...
Okay, so he might not be the best voice. I'd like to switch him out.
I don't like it for it. I don't like his voice for the message that you're getting at, trying to put across. I find he's just too serious news, like serious news anchory, like, you know, kind of thing. It's not peppy enough.
Not peppy.
Yeah, it's not. And to me, it's like, it's nothing like you or your voice or your spirit.
It's kind of like a Chevette. It's not a Cadillac.
Yeah,
that's right. It's like a Chevette. It's not. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So, but the great thing is, it's really simple. Like, especially if you don't want to be the one to present, or let's say that you do want to be the one to present, Catherine, you want to be the one to present, but there's a segment of your video that you want a different voice. You want it to be somebody else talking. You want somebody else to say those words. You know, in the past, you'd have to call up an agency and they'd have to get some talent in to record this thing. And then they have to mix it with your, you know, here, you just go in there, plop in the text that you want, pick Rachel's voice or Harry or Dorothy or Josh and just, you know, record it. Go ahead, Catherine.
I was just going to say, and that's why I have Teresa doing a lot of my videos, because I get to the point where I don't want to hear myself talk when I'm not talking. Right, like I'm doing a presentation, and here's my chance to, you know, let them hear somebody different, and then it's me again as a voiceover, right? So that's a great voiceover idea that I had not thought about.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alessandra.
I think another good thing is too, like, especially because everybody's so into like, oh, you know, get your reels, get your shorts, get your social media stuff out. It's also good for voice preservation, because I think it's really important to acknowledge that the more content you try and put out video wise, the more strain it is on your own vocal cords. Right. So I think that's a good thing to also acknowledge. And anyone that has any sort of vocal disability as well, I think it gives them a lot of empowerment too.
And you know what? I remember the time when I used to be the one doing morning coffee, and I was the one doing tech talk, and I was the one doing, you know, like, I think people just get tired of your voice. And so it's nice, you know, to preserve, you know, voice integrity or voice acceptance, you know, among your audience, where you just basically use your voice for the things that are the most crucial, the most important for connecting, for personal appeals. But for other things, you use, you know, you use the AI voice, especially because the pricing of this stuff is so affordable that it's worth it. Go ahead.
Too. I'm just thinking, like, golly, so her daughter's got her, let's say her times are reversed, right? So she's not able to do this stuff during the daytime, and then Josh has got to sleep. How do you do these voiceovers and over again, right? And retakes, where you just go in and tweak the word to say Steve dot space, you know, and it just, oh, it would, I know what splicing video, you know what splicing audio together is like.
But let me tell you this, okay? So this is the sexy part of all this, okay? Like, I know you thought that wasn't the sexy part. No, here's the sexy part. I record the morning mixer, and when I'm recording it, I record it and I go, I listen to it again. I go, oh, that doesn't sound right. I should do it again. So I do it again. Oh, I screwed up that last part. Okay, I got to record that part over again. When you're doing this, it's going to read what's on the page. It's not going to screw up the line. It's going to be perfect, right? So for me, I would love to have it where I can record my own voice and let AI use my voice to record my stuff. And that is something that you can do, where you create your own voice print, and it becomes part of your experience on 11 Lab or some. Most of them now offer this, and then you select your own voice to do the recording, right? So that's cool. Now you notice that with this one here, you can, let me just go ahead and click out of this. This one here, you can say, you know what, I think I want to have, you know, obviously that's Drew, and that's Drew, and that's Drew. But then here, you know, I want this to be somebody else. So the paragraph setting here, I'm just going to let, maybe I'm going to let Sarah do.
All our knowledge has its origins in our
Then I'm going to have
perceptions.
Sarah do this section and this section, you know, and then I'm just going to have, you know, Drew come back to the top, to this at the bottom, right? So here you have a lot of control over everything that's happening in your with your audio, especially if you're recording audio. Then you take this final audio clip with both Drew and Sarah's voice together, export it, and pull it into your video editing you know, software, so that you can then add the visuals, right? But you have control over this. You know, in fact, when you're writing things, you can even have a, you know, a discussion between two people. When Bob says this and Mary says that, you can have Bob speak and then Mary speak and then Bob speak and then Mary answer and then Bob speak, and then you pulls it out, and it sounds like you're actually doing an interview, because
I was just trying to say, you could do your own podcast without anybody.
Yeah, I just have a question. Is there a platform that lets you do everything you're doing here on top of a video editing software? Like, because now I'm still spending a lot of time matching up audio segments with particular video portions. It'll be great if you can just narrate this directly on top of the video and just save one extra step of editing, or you don't need to go offshore to have someone edit.
I started to do the editing with that, and I was working with what's it called? Plasma Punk. You've heard of Plasma Punk, have you, John? Go to plasmapunk.com, and it's PLAZMAPUNK, plasmapunk.com. This is where you can go in there and you can either have AI generate the video based on the content of the audio. So you upload your audio and it'll create the video for you. Or you can go ahead and you can edit your own, and you can do everything in Plasma Punk. The thing is, I have not tested it. I'm in the process right now of testing it, but I have not tested it myself completely to completion. So I really want to be able to do that, and then I'll do another tech talk, and I'll compare maybe one or two platforms, sorry, two or three platforms, to see which one's the best, and I'll give you pricing on that.
Yeah, that sounds good, because the use case I'm seeing is if there are people doing instructional videos on, oh, we're going to build a house, like nailing this,
Right.
And then you need narration on top. My traditional way of doing it is you film first, get the audio later, and then manually, or get an intern to just do all the video editing. But it'll be great if you can do it all in one platform.
That's right. And yeah, so there are some like Plasma Punk is one. There's another one that I'm working on as well that I mentioned in one of my previous videos. So those I'll definitely be comparing. But the last one I want to get to before we wrap today, because we only have 5 minutes, is Synthesia. All right, Catherine, remember Synthesia? Right? Okay, so Synthesia.io is quite a fascinating platform. I'm going to tell you that right now. So first of all, Synthesia, their pricing, so that you get it, it is $22 a month, and you're getting, you know, a couple videos that you can put together, etc. But let me see if I can actually quickly log in here. I hope it saved my password because I don't remember. But so check this out. Okay, here's the video I want to show you.
Hello, I am Ada, new expressive AI avatar, and I want to guide you one more time through this important, incredible release. Let's go. Expressive avatars are an absolute new jump in tech. A few important things that you definitely need to know. Expressive AI avatars follow the sentiment of the script, so they can show a huge variety of emotions.
So I want you, while she's talking, I want you to see that this is a fake person, right? And look at how expressive she is before. The first time that we looked at avatars, they were standing there and they were mouthing the words, but you could tell that some of the mouthing was off, right? But look at this avatar.
New avatars have much better lip sync. Watch me talk. Impressive, huh? Every avatar is paired with a new expressive voice. All new expressive voices are marked by a purple icon. Wait, I will show you my team.
I am so excited to be here.
So, we now have 9 expressive avatars with multilingual voices available in 28 languages.
Wow, how amazing is that? Does it mean I can use the same voice in French? Wow! Ma voix émotionnelle est également disponible en français et 27 autres langues.
Me, Francesca, and Alex are available on free plan. Other avatars on started, creator, enterprise plans?
Yes, you are correct. So for starter and above,
so we get the general idea, right? So what I really love about Synthesia.ai .io, sorry, is that if you're looking for a realistic face for a video that you're doing that's just going to be a presenter, I have not seen anything that is anywhere near as good as Synthesia.io. It's fantastic. And Catherine, remember, it was almost the beginning of the summer that we went through Synthesia last time, and it was nowhere near this. And now I find it to be fantastic. And listen, I'm not an affiliate of these guys. And if you want to be an affiliate, you should be, because these guys are amazing. And I highly recommend using this. You can imagine, Catherine, if you've captured some video of people doing things in the background, and you would like this person to be your platonic first aid trainer that's going to talk about what's happening here in a scene, you cannot get better lighting than this woman. You can't get better voice and projection and everything else, and she will say what you type. Your thoughts?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's great that you redo these, because I check most of these out after you go through them. I have my list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a use for them. I don't go back.
Right.
I don't see how, and I should, because I do understand how they advance, but I just don't have the time. So I'm grateful that you do that.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm going to just make a recommendation. If you have time, once a month, when you got nothing else to do, spend 3 hours. You really need 3 hours to drill down and give yourself the time to absorb what's happening in AI, and play with all the tools, and you'll find yourself gravitating towards 2 or 3 types of tools, right? For me, it's video and audio. I'm really big on that. I'm also really into AI that can brainstorm with me, because I only have so much limited thinking, and brainstorming is really important. And so that's kind of where I'm going. So those are my 3, and I'm looking for perfection in that. Whereas other people are looking for code AI that will help them to write better code or whatever. That's their thing. That's not where I'm at. But figure out what it is in AI that can help you, and then start playing with AI regularly. Like every month, set aside 3 hours and play with AI tools, because you'll find out that if AI can save you an hour a month, then that's an hour, and that's 12 hours a year. And for those that use Adobe software, generative AI in Photoshop is like, I cannot even imagine going back. Like, don't take my AI from me, because I can't imagine going back to having to match, and layer and fill, and all these things to get an expanded picture. whereas now it's just drag, drop, generate. It does it in 20 seconds, and I can move on with what I really want to get done. So, definitely, start playing along with those. Okay. All right. So I just want to remind you guys, at 11 o'clock, we have our call for training. So please be there if you need a brush up. And I want to thank you. Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you again next week. Take care, everybody. All right. Hey, good seeing you, Alan. Good seeing you, Madeline.